Well, I have some more confirmation about just what the power elite and the religious corporations know about this source of energy that is hitting our planet. And this energy is basically twisting our magnetic fields and sending huge amounts of particles, particularly protons, into our atmosphere and across the solar system. You know, it's not only our planet that will be experiencing this new source of energy, it's also going to be the other planets and even our sun, because whatever is sending this energy is doing it when the sun is not experiencing any flares or CME. So that is telling us that there is something else that is sending us this pulse. And because it happens at such regular intervals, it is definitely some type of pulse. And my thoughts are it is coming from the galactic core, and it could even be working through Orion, and we could be experiencing this energy directly from Orion. I mean, if we look back into the religious mythology and even the Christian paintings, we always see light coming from the sky, beams of light, that seem to be illuminating people. Look at the conversion of Saul. That's a great example of this beam of light that seems to enlighten this individual. So we very well may be already starting to experience this energy, and it's only going to intensify. And of course, the last people that need to know the truth are the slaves. So the power elite, the agencies, and the religious corporations are going to do whatever it takes to keep us in the dark, literally. Now, I remembered that there was a very interesting video I uploaded last year, and it was in relation to a particle counter being placed on the ISS, and the Vatican taking a lot of interest in this. Now, why is the Vatican so interested in the particle counter? In fact, they even had a teleconference with the astronauts on board the ISS. So that really did spark my curiosity last year. I found that very unusual behavior, that the Vatican would care about this particle counter and want to speak to these astronauts. It made me start thinking that they were expecting something. And so what is this particle counter? Well, it's a space particle counter. And basically what they're doing is measuring the particles that are coming into the Earth's atmosphere. It's also a magnetic spectrometer, okay? And it basically bends the path of the cosmic particles. And the detector instruments provide information on the particles as they pass through, potentially detecting antimatter or dark matter in the mix. Now, that was the bullshit cover-up story that we were given, that they were looking for dark matter. Well, anyone that understands the correct theory of the universe, the correct model, is the electric universe model. And there is no such thing as dark matter. That is flat earth science. That is dogma. That is total crap. That is given to us to limit our perception of reality and limit our perception of the universe. Okay? When in fact, our universe is electric. So what are they looking for? What are they waiting for? Something. To put the particle counter up on the ISS, last year on the 14th of May was when this article was published, then they are trying to measure something. So obviously they are fully aware of this influx of particles that is coming from this source, from somewhere other than our sun. And then interestingly, on the 21st of May, we have the Pope talking live to the astronauts on the International Space Station. Well, I can pretty much tell you who probably paid for that machine. And why is the Pope so interested in the particle counter and the International Space Station? What was he talking to these astronauts about? Yes, we need to ask ourselves that. Do we really believe that when the Crusades began their horrific assault on the ancient civilizations around our planet, pillaged them, murdered them, and basically stole all their information, that they actually destroyed them and burnt them? Seriously, guys, What do you think's locked up underneath the Vatican in the library? They know. They know exactly what's going on. Why do you think the Vatican has one of the best observatories in the world? In fact, they have instruments and telescopes that rival NASA. One of their best telescopes is called Lucifer. And everyone always makes a big deal about Lucifer and how it's, oh my God, the devil and the Antichrist. They the Antichrist because they call their telescope Lucifer. You know, guys, you're working through your programming once again. Lucifer is actually Venus. Once again, let's go back to Venus and how important Venus is at this time, and how the mayor watched Venus intently, and how Venus was the timekeeper, and how Venus also changes the cycles in the sun. And this is exactly what the Mayas say as well. They say at the end of the cycle, when Venus transits the sun, Venus changes the cycle on the sun and births a new sun. And then we can go back to Christian mythology and we can see Mary sitting there with Jesus on her lap, baby Jesus. So basically we're being shown this in symbolism within Christian mythology. Venus gives birth to a new sun. And this is exactly what's happening. And there is also some external source of energy that is working into everything. And we need to know where that is coming from. Basically, they know, guys. They would absolutely know. My thoughts are that it is probably Orion. I cannot give you any verification or data to back that. But I can just tell you intuitively, based on my research and how important Orion is within all of the ancient cultures, including Venus, and Orion and Venus always come up again and again. I really do believe that we are now receiving some type of energy from the Orion Nebula. And it's all to do with the interaction of our galactic core, because our galactic core is God, is our God. That is where the God light for our galaxy emanates from the galactic core. And once again, we need to look at correspondence, how everything corresponds from the macro to the micro. So the galactic center would also be working off some other larger cycle, and then there would be another larger cycle. And it just goes on infinitely. And this is what the ancients actually tracked, using the constellations, using the mythology, using all of the ancient texts that they left for us. Unfortunately, there was an agenda, and the Vatican and the power elite took that information, especially Rome. I mean, everything goes back to Rome. All roads lead to the head beast, and that is the Vatican, and the Vatican works with the Queen. Okay, so it's all to do with the royals and the Vatican. Everybody else is just a puppet that has a part to play. All of those families, yes, they are powerful, but I'm telling you now, it all goes back to the Vatican. And the reason that they are basically putting up with the Vatican is because the Vatican has all the information. And obviously does not want to give all the information to NASA. And so NASA relies a lot on the Vatican, and they work together. They work together all the time. There is evidence to show that they work together. You need to ask yourself, if you're a Christian or a Catholic and you're watching this, you need to ask yourself, why is your religious corporation so interested in the cosmos, so interested in the sun? Why do they have the best equipment? Why do they have more sun cameras than anybody else? Why are they so focused and so curious and want to know more about what's going on up in space? What are they looking for? They've known about this for a long time. I'm even thinking they knew about this from the 90s. And it's a timing thing that now they just are trying to probably time it at right, the exact time. It's all about timing now for them, which is why they're waiting, while they're watching. They're looking for something. There's going to be signs that tell them how close we are to this huge galactic shock that we are going to receive, this super wave. And this is verifiable once again with data. You only have to look for G2 cloud. Go do some research. I've already done videos on the G2 cloud as well, so you can even look at that and see that we are going to receive a shock, a galactic shock wave. This is what the Maya tell us. The Maya say that the galactic core emits particles. It has a pulse, it has an outburst, and at certain times in the cycle, it basically showers the entire galaxy in these particles and renews and purifies everything. So, once again, we seem to have more questions than answers. But anyway, I just wanted to share this information with you because I found it very important that the Vatican would pay so much attention to particle counters. And we are now seeing an influx of particles that are not coming from the sun, that are coming from elsewhere. And they are causing huge earthquakes. They are causing our magnetic field to twist. We almost lost our pole, our magnetic pole, on one of these occasions. And they are sending huge amounts of particles, protons. So something is going on, guys, and they know it. I'm going to continue watching this, and I'm going to continue bringing you more information when it comes across my path. But of course, if anybody does have information that they can send my way, I would really much appreciate it. Okay, guys, well, I will link everything underneath the video. And as always, peace out.